So I volunteered at the Food Bank of the Rockies, and I chose this, I think, because the seed was planted in my mind around the holiday season when my therapist suggested that I might do something similar with my family just to offer a little bit of perspective, particularly around the holiday season. And we never did that. But I think the seed was planted, and this was a great chance to actually follow through on that and see what it was like. So, what I learned, I think I learned a little bit of the, I guess, the backdrop for what types of food folks are receiving who are in need of support. And I don't know, it was pretty, I guess, not surprising to see what was mostly being offered, but maybe a little disheartening. A lot of processed foods, a lot of sugar. A lot of Takis, a lot of chips. I guess just a lot of food that I would consider to not really be nutritional food for anyone, but particularly for developing children. And I mean, this is pretty much a result of my handling this food, working with packaging it up, and preparing it to be sent to organizations or families who are in need of assistance. And in terms of why it was important, I think for me it was important to see, well, one, what individuals in need of help are receiving, but also considering like how that impacts the perpetuation of the poverty cycle and perpetuation of oppression for folks of low socioeconomic status. And I guess like considering what we can do, and maybe what we can do a little bit differently. And I recognize as I'm saying this that I'm coming from a very privileged stance of being able to prioritize buying nutritional food for myself. And there are a lot of people who don't have that privilege, who are not able to do that. And I don't think the work that food banks or soup kitchens or organizations who are helping get food into the hands of people who really need it, I don't think it's doing a bad thing. I think it's doing a wonderful thing. But I wonder what kind of impact that's having on the brain functioning, the brain development, the physical and mental well-being of people who are receiving this food, but particularly the children who are receiving this food. And so, so I guess I'll move into the theorist that I connected this to, which is Super and Harkness's developmental niche model. He focuses on physical and social settings of daily life, customs of child care and child rearing, and the psychology of the caretakers. And in terms of child development and this model, I was reminded mostly of the physical and social settings and the customs of child care and child rearing, particularly the nutritional status of children and the feeding and eating schedules of children. And I guess that kind of ties into what I want to do with this information, this knowledge, what I've learned from this process. I'm not exactly sure if there's an obvious next step for me, but I think it's helped me focus a little bit more on where my interests lie as the advocate that I would like to be. My questions that were raised, the thoughts that I had, were all related to the children who are receiving this food, the children who are eating this food, which is much needed and is a wonderful service to offer. But I wonder what kind of impact it's having. And so whether I want to continue to focus on the food-related end of this, or if it's helped me realize that I want to focus my efforts more on being an advocate for underserved and underprivileged young people, I'm not certain, but it has helped me kind of find some direction that I would like to continue moving towards as I'm moving through the program and then eventually towards becoming a licensed therapist. So I think that is what I have to say, and thank you.